gonna play around. We're gonna play just from the shoulder crunch, just for our control, and we're gonna play with the different leg methods that I can use to sweep with, and then we'll talk about when I have to switch it and do other things, right? So let me just go. Yeah, so we'll start with our butterfly, because we've done this before, right? So if I get my shoulder crunch, so I'm here with his arm on my shoulder, my hand's coming over the top, I'm getting my control, elbow to the ceiling here, right? So when I'm butterfly sweeping, it's always gonna be very similar. Like I've gotta get his weight moving forward, and then I'm kicking him over, right? So that's our butterfly sweep scenario. But if I'm in full guard and I get this shoulder crunch, it's like, oh crap, now what do I do? I don't have my butterfly, right? So now my options are one of two. I can flower sweep him or I can scissor sweep him. I prefer the scissor sweep off of this, so I'm just gonna scoop my hips out and I'm gonna drive my knee in front of his hip. So I'm here, and I still have this all crunched. This leg slides down to his knee, and then I just extend my left leg, pull my right leg in, and we'll bring him over that way. All right? So, we'll play with this one first, because this is different than what we've been doing, right? So that way, if I get this shoulder crunch and I'm in full guard, I don't have to be like, ah, crap, how do I get my butterfly back in so I can sweep him, right? So, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make that turn. If you can, do it without putting your foot on the mat. So I turn my hips, scoot away, and I slide my knee in. Right, so we're here. This leg slides down, I hamstring curl, and I kick. Bring them over. Does that make sense? So we're gonna play with that one first, then we'll come back and talk about the flower sweep, and then we've been doing butterfly sweeps, but then we'll talk about a bunch of different places where there's variations of these and how they just keep showing up over and over and over again. These are the main ways you're going to use your lower body to sweep people. And we'll talk about the hip bump sweep and stuff too, right? So let's play it. 3, 2, 1. So I turn this way first, right? Now I've got this really locked in. And so maybe I'm trying to get my knee in to start something here, and making him think I'm going for this. And then now I hop it back to the other side. Right, now I've got even more movement to create that momentum to sweep them. Does that make sense? So if going from flat on your back, you're not able to create enough, then turn away from the arm and then use all of that for your momentum to create the sweep. Make sense? Cool, let's hit it. 3, 2, 1. I've got this shoulder crunch. When I go to get this left knee in, right, I'm gonna make this turn here, and then I use this to kind of push him away just a little bit to slide this in.
Oh, so you're completely on your side?
Yes, I want to be all the way here. Right? So now I'm completely on my side, and so all I'm doing literally is straightening this leg and curling this one. Come on top, right? So, use you so you can see it. So I'm here, when I open up, I make this turn. It's kind of like I'm going to K-guard, right? So I'm dropping this in, and then this knee slides right in. If I can't get it in, I'll push him a little bit, and then I'll slide it in. And then I can come and hit this sweep. Does that make sense? So let's try that, and try really hard not to put your foot on the mat when you shrimp out. Because if you do that, like if he has a shoulder crunch, right, and he goes and he pops his foot on the mat, I just pass, right? So don't put your foot on the mat, right? Let's hit it. 3, 2, 1. Shoulder crunch, right? I'm here. So I'm already in this position. The only difference is my right leg is not out there to block his knee from sliding out. So he can slide his knee out to post, right? But if he does that, as I start to go, then I can bring my foot out. And then I finish the sweep.
Okay. But if they don't post, you get it.
Then the sweep is there.
Okay.
All right. So again, from Z guard, You know, I get this, I'm in here, and I've got this shoulder crunch, and I'm already across with my leg, right? So I'm just gonna come in, and I'm gonna start to hit him. If he slides out, then I'm gonna work to get my foot out. Just, all I need to do is just block his knee from sliding anymore, and then I can finish that sweep, right? So, let's give that a try for just a couple minutes, and then we'll move on to the flower sweep, right? Let's hit it, 3, 2, 1. Gives me the space is the attempted sweep, right? So I try to scissor, and he slides his knee out. Well, don't fall down. Right, he slides that knee out further. So right here, I can start to bring this through, but even right here, it's hard for me to get my foot through, right? So now,
You turn back.
right? I just make the space. If here's not enough, then I open up and I bring my knee through the rest of the way and come out. I still have the shoulder crunch, and actually going back to my back locks the shoulder crunch in tighter. So I don't have to worry about losing the arm because it's actually tighter in that position.
Okay.
So I just open up, bring my leg through, and then come back.
Question for you.
Yep.
Where, I guess, some good mechanics for that shoulder crunch? Because I don't feel like I'm tight enough
Yeah, I
with
feel like
the
it's
shoulder
loose.
crunch.
Yeah, so the big mechanics on it, if I'm doing this arm, is you'll feel there's an indention in his shoulder, right? Where this bone goes into the socket, right? So right in there. I want to put my thumb, just like I was heel hooking his shoulder, right on that, right? And then I connect. From here, when I first get it to tighten it up, I'm going this elbow to the ceiling, my other one down. So that now, you know, it's hard for him to pull this out. He has to like raise his posture to pull his arm out, right? This is where I want to be. Because if he starts to raise his posture to sit up to pull it out, then I sit up with him and we sweep him anyway, right? So it's about coming right across that, and then it's this. And then when I go to sweep, I go this way, and then I sweep. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help?
If you're getting shoulder crunch, it feels like you gotta like follow them with it.
Right.
Otherwise, it just hurts. So yeah.
So again, I'm clearing that leg, right? So once I get this, I try to hit that sweep so he slides that out. I can't quite get it through, so I open up. Now I can come through, right? Cool, let's keep going, 3, 2, 1. All right, he'll try to get his arm back, but he's got to posture up to get his arm back. Right, go ahead, posture, get your arm back. Oh, look at that. Right, if we're in that Z guard, it's the same thing, right? I get this shoulder crunch, like where's he gonna go?
You're hugging with your head.
Yeah, this is all tight and hugging. He's gonna try to pull his arm out, which is gonna create space, right? So I just play with the space. I don't have to go fast. If I can't get it all the way there, I can just hang out. And I can just start messing with him. You know, and start working back to wherever I wanna be. Make sense? Right? Another option here, if you just like, this scissor sweep thing ain't working for me, right? So I get here and I start to scissor sweep him, and I open the space up, and then I come in and get my butterflies. And then I can sweep them with my butterfly, right? I can switch back and forth between these sweeps. Make sense? Right? So now, let's go full guard. So now we're gonna talk about the flower sweep, all right? So the flower sweep motion is one leg is chopping down, the other one is chopping up, right? It's also known as the pendulum sweep. So when I get here, if I want to flower sweep him, I'm gonna bring this leg down against his knee again to block that knee. And then this one, I'm using my thigh into his shoulder to sweep him over. So I get here, and I rock, and I use the pendulum to come on top. Does that make sense? All right, so, no, can I use you? You can see it. So again, we're here, I have that shoulder crunch, we're playing in here. Maybe I can't get that knee in, I'm just having a hard time. You know, so I'm like, you know what, we'll just hit that flower sweep. So I'm just chopping down, and this one's chopping up. I'm taking him to this corner, right? and we still end up in the same spot. Make sense? All right, so let's play with that, and you have that as another option there as well, right? Let's hit it, 3, 2, 1.